All right, rookies to rely on for the rest of the season. In other words, the biggest impact that they will make the rest of the year for their teams. Trivia question for Chris. Cowboys rookie CeeDee Lamb is the second player in NFL history with 5 or more catches in each of his first 5 career games. Who was the first? Here's a hint. He did eventually play for the Cowboys, but was not drafted by them.
Wow. Okay. Keyshawn Johnson.
That is good. I thought you were going to go Joey Galloway.
Oh, I didn't even think of it. I should have. That would have.
Not him. Terry Glenn.
Wow, Terry Glenn. Man, so he started up in New England, tearing it up right from the get-go. I didn't realize he got off to that kind of start. Impressive.
Yeah. Now, here's the challenge for this draft, because I'm looking at it from the standpoint of contending teams. Like, hey, I got faith in Justin Herbert, but the team's 1-4. I want to put my money on a rookie who is with a team where he's going to make a difference and he's going to make something happen and he's going to be playing in January. And this is, hey, look, Chase Claypool is the flavor of the month, the flavor of the week. He had 4 touchdowns. There's no reason to think all of a sudden those skills that caused him to have 4 touchdowns are going to go away. I'm going Chase Claypool because his team's 4-0 and the arrow is pointing up for this kid.
Yeah, and Chris Simms has been telling you about him since last freaking April.
And I've been listening to you.
I know. Yeah, well, hopefully that will be the big shot that across the bow for Pittsburgh to finally go, okay, we trust you, just like we heard Chase Claypool. Big Ben can say we trust you, and now they make him the guy. I mean, they should. It's easy for me to say here on the outside looking in. We don't know where he is in the offense and all the checks and all those type of things. But, I mean, the physical ability and what you see on the field, there's nobody on the Steelers that has his talent level at the wide receiver position. So I'm hoping they make him the go-to guy. You see he's special. Good for you. All right, I'm going to go with Henry Ruggs then. I'm going to go with another receiver. I mean, Ruggs is a guy, you see they're a different football team when he's on the field. He opens it all up. He's dangerous as hell. I've never seen a guy who's so fast who makes it look like he's jogging or just striding it out, but no one gains ground on him. And then he plays big, too. I mean, we saw in the first drive of the game last week, he goes up and jumps up in the air and catches a 50-50 ball at his size. So he's a guy that I look at right now and go, yeah, trust him. Give him the ball more, Raiders, and however that is, more speed sweeps, whatever. But I think he's a guy we can depend on. I'm kind of sold on that from what I've seen so far.
I'm going to go with the guy who was the subject of our trivia question. Another receiver, 3 for 3 on receivers. The Cowboys are very much alive to win their division. They would be out of the mix in most other divisions, but at 2-3, they're in first place. And look, Andy Dalton has taken a team to 5 straight playoff berths in the past, and he's got a group of receivers like he's never had before. In Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, Cedric Wilson, and CeeDee Lamb has done great things so far. So, as the Cowboys make their push for a playoff berth with a lot less pressure on them, given the quarterback change, I'll take CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, I get that too. I mean, he's a pro, and you can see. I mean, his playmaking ability, the way he looks, it just gets better every week. He's awesome, and they can make him the focal point of their offense. They certainly could, and not miss a beat. I'm going to go with Justin Herbert. I am. Here's for the 2 reasons, because what you said is very real. You want to be able to pick a guy. I know what you're saying, where you feel like, hey, this team has a chance, and we're talking about rookies who have an impact in you're going to help that team win and make them relevant. All right, well, I'm picking Herbert because I'm saying, hey, Chargers, take the training wheels off, and I mean not on Justin Herbert. His are off. You coaches, take them off. Stop with the first down run, second down run. Oh, we're managing our quarterback. Oh, yeah, what? Managing so much you put him in 3rd and 12, and then you ask him to make – I mean, the Chargers can't run the ball. Give it up. What are you managing anymore? Your running backs are average as dishwater. Your O-line is average. Move on. He's the star. Open up the game. You're doing a disservice to him right now. Part of the reasons they've lost the last few weeks is because they get leads and then they manage the game to where they're like, hey, guys, we're winning by too much. We'd like the other team to come back a little bit. So we're going to totally sit on the ball and do nothing now so they can come back. Stop that crap. They have a chance still. The Jaguars, the Broncos, the Dolphins, the Jets, those are 4 of their next 5 teams they play. They can win those 4 games and then be right back in the mix of things.
Why did you use the word dishwater again?
I don't know. I heard an old coach that said it's average as dishwater. He used to say it, and I just used it. I don't know.
I had a flashback.
Right.
I had a flashback to the 70s when, from time to time, I was relegated to the task of doing the dishes against my will.
Right.
And dishwater is nasty. Dishwater. The stuff that gets in there, especially if you don't rinse the plates before you do it. When you only have one sink, this is the age of everyone has two sinks.
Yeah.
Back in the 70s, you had one sink. So it's not like you could rinse the plates while you had to do all the rinsing before you I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So you'd have spaghetti in there. I mean, dishwater was nasty.
Ugh.
So let's not put dishwater on the PFT bingo.
Were you a bad boy ever and your mom had to put soap in your mouth? Is that a thing like at all in your livelihood?
It wasn't soap. It was a
wooden spoon on your butt.
Wooden spoon, paddle, a piece of molding that, she just happened to think, hey, this will be nice.
Oh.
And that was the way it was.
Italian moms love the wooden spoon. What is that? All my friends growing up, all that, it was the Italian moms loved the wooden spoon and chasing their kids after with that.
But let me tell you this. You may be shocked to know this. I was a smart ass.
You what?
And I was a smart ass when I was a kid.
Shocker.
And I would do the calculation in my brain of, here's this zinger I want to throw at mom. Is it worth getting my ass beat over it? And sometimes I'd say no. Sometimes I'd say yes. So sometimes I just like, you know what? I can't let this line go. It's got to be used. It can't be forfeited to history, even if I have a welt on my butt for the rest of the night. But that's the way it was, and that was the way they disciplined. And, it didn't work. I eventually figured out the connection between being a smart ass and getting whipped, and I decided to stop being a smart ass until I became an adult. And Chris and Pete is telling me to keep moving, or we're going to run out of time. Next one for me, Patrick Queen, Defensive Player of the Week for the AFC this week. And maybe the cure to the kryptonite that is the Kansas City Chiefs, if and when they cross paths again, Chris, in the postseason. He's been great at linebacker for the Ravens. And to go against his old quarterback and to have the performance he did, I think that's one of those things that's going to give Patrick Queen even more of a lift for the rest of the season. But it's all for the Ravens, setting up for when they see the Chiefs again, and maybe Queen will be dramatically better when they face Kansas City the second time around, if that happens.
Yeah, well, he's special. I mean, he flies around the field. I mean, when you watch Baltimore Ravens film, you see him. He pops out a lot. All right, I'm gonna go with Clyde Edwards-Helaire for my last one, because I still think there's ways they can use him more. More in the screen game, more as a slot receiver, doing things like that, expand his role. I think he's shown he's perfectly reliable. He seems very mature, seems to have a grasp of the offense when you read things that they say out there about him and all of that, to where I think there is a spot for more of a role, especially when we talk about those teams who play soft coverages, him underneath and all the screens and everything. I think it'd still be very effective.
He had 80 total yards in the game against the Raiders, and he's gone from 138, the leading rusher week 1, down to 38, 64, 64, and 40. Now,
yeah,
he's added more. He's added more yards in the passing game, but it's not the kind of impact that we thought. And we mentioned Le'Veon Bell, Chris.
Yeah,
the Chiefs were interested last year. They were interested in Adrian Peterson.
Right.
Frankly, maybe they're going to be interested in Le'Veon Bell once he's cut by the Jets. All right, they want to show the bingo.
Did we hit a bingo today? Anybody got a bingo?
Did we get bingo? Do we have a bingo? No bingo today.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.